First of all, Margie is joining us. Not interested? She's not interested because she doesn't read, because she's a dog. You probably first notice, if you've watched my videos before this, I have brown hair. That is right. As of 2 nights ago, I went back sort of similarly to my natural color. My natural color is not a very pretty brown, so it's not my natural color. We don't want my natural color. I had videos made prior about Katie McGarry, but they disappeared or the source disappeared, and so I couldn't edit them, and you don't want my unedited videos. I mean, those are my early ones, and there's a lot of ums, pauses. Anywho, I wanted to talk about Katie McGarry and the 2 novels and novella that I've read by her, and my anxiously awaiting for the 3rd one, Crash Into You, which comes out in November. Katie McGarry writes a young adult contemporary. She's relatively new to the game. I think these are her first books. I've never heard of her before. She is published by Harlequin Teen. I've mentioned Pushing the Limits, which is her first novel, in another video, but I wanted to talk about the whole saga, all her books. Pushing the Limits with the red hair. I love Echo's red hair. Yes, so Echo is the good girl who had a traumatic experience happen to her that she doesn't remember. She has scars on her arms that are evidence of that, and now is ostracized, kind of partially herself closing off, as well as, you know, the weirdness that she has no idea what happened to her. Noah Hutchins is very much kind of the bad boy, though he's not really. I mean, he's a bad boy in kind of the ways that matter to those of us who like them in literature, but not really. He's a foster kid through this clinical psychiatrist, or clinical social worker, clinical social worker who's come into the school. They sort of interact because their appointments are right next to each other, and through a series of events, they fall in love. I said it, that 2 teens actually fall in love, or at least love each other. And it's not paranormal, which is about the only time I tend to buy teens falling in love, because there's usually like life or death situations, and that sort of heightens everything. I am a cynic. Now, I'm a hopeless romantic, but I'm a cynical hopeless romantic, which you will be too if you become my age at 32 and, you know, yeah, okay. And are still single while everyone else is married and has children, and posts up their really adorable photos on Facebook. And, oh God, you don't want to know that about me, because that just makes me sound like a crazy cat lady, but I'm not! Because I have a dog. Okay. Katie McGarry convinces me that these 2 people fall in love, and that is a skill. Kind of some of the main sort of stuff other than the relationships of, my gosh, people on Facebook, is Echo finding out what happened that night. That's part of what she's going to the clinical social worker for, who, by the way, I love. So that's all I'm going to tell you, you know, but it's very angsty. But here's the thing that's okay about the angst, and is that in all the books, or especially the 2 novels that I'll talk about, the angst is not gratuitous. It is necessary, and it feels very real. There's a lot of young adult contemporary, I'm not going to say names or authors, because they're authors, and I know how hard they work, and probably work more than I do. It feels like, you know, kids get sexually molested or abused in other ways, just to make them interesting and layered and angsty. Their reactions and the way they respond and their characters don't seem to come organically out of that. That does not happen in Pushing the Limits or any of Katie McGarry's books. Okay, so Pushing the Limits, I gave that 4 or 5 stars. I might have changed. I might have started with 4 and then I was like, no. And here's the thing about Pushing the Limits. After I'd read Crossing the Line, the novella, and Dare You To, I immediately went back to reread Pushing the Limits. That's the quickest reread I've ever done. I just wanted to read it all over again. That says something. Okay, so next book, it was a novella called Crossing the Line, and it is about Lila, Echo's best friend, who's actually a really good friend, who sticks through thick and thin with Echo despite everything that's gone on. And it's a short little story. I'm not really good with novellas, especially when you're already kind of used to the author's style and you want more. It was cute. It was enjoyable. I haven't reread it. I read it really fast because I was like consuming everything that Katie McGarry had out. I give it 3 stars. You know, it was cute. It was interesting. Lila's a great character, but I'd have to reread it. The book that came out just a month ago, 2 months ago, which has the best cover. Yeah, I know, I totally fangirled on that, is Dare You To. Now, in Pushing the Limits, Noah has a foster brother named Isaiah and their friend Beth Risk. Now, Isaiah and Noah stay with Beth Risk's aunt and uncle, and sometimes Beth crashes there as well because her mom is a mess. So this is Beth Risk's story, and so we're switching the sort of tropes. We've got Beth Risk, who's sort of the bad girl who dyes her hair black and is very, you know, I can beat you with a stare type of character. And then we have Ryan Stone, who's the golden boy of the school, baseball scholarship, smart, you know, has a seemingly perfect family, although there's a lot of stuff going on underneath that they are not perfect. It takes place in a different town, a smaller town, because a couple events go through with Beth's life, that she's now away from Isaac and Noah, and and Echo and things like, and people like that from the first story, and they show up occasionally in the book, but she's in a new environment, which I think is good for her. Beth has a, you know, kind of this sad stereotypical mom who has horrible boyfriends, can't keep a job, drug addict, you know, sort of all those things that are just awful, and Beth feels responsible for her, even though Beth really should separate herself from her mom because it's not helping. And once again, Beth Risk, Ryan Stone, opposite sides of the spectrum, I buy it. I think they fall in love. I mean, seriously, Katie McGarry's doing an awesome job here, because I truly don't buy that teenagers fall in love often. No offense, teenagers. It's just, in my vast amount of experience, since I'm like twice your age, you know, there's a lot of hormones and stuff, and you don't know enough about life to really, truly fall in love, generally speaking. And it happens so much in literature. I do believe that you will care and you feel deeply. I do not argue that the emotions that teenagers have they're not cheap. Even though they might be about things that when you look back later are not super important, you feel deeply, and I don't say that's not true, okay? So don't be upset at me. I gave Dare You 2 an easy 5 stars. The stuff was more intense. There's a couple of lovely, like romantic moments, and again, there's a lot of angst, but it's good angst. It's appropriate angst. There's a lot of stuff with Beth's mom and the situation she's in that's kind of scary. You're just like, oh my gosh, will they get out of this? I think the names were great. Beth Risk, because she's risky and reckless, and Ryan Stone, I mean, he, like his father, who's very controlling, or like immovable and stern and, you know, and solid. Yeah, Ryan's family's a little perfect on the outside, not so much on the inside, but the characters are great. And the third book, called Crash Into You, is about Isaiah, is the third, you know, the friends with Noah and stuff like that, foster kid, gets his heart broken during the course of Dare You 2, so his story is next, and he's a street racer. And the cover is awesome as well, so go look for it on Goodreads. Okay, so all I have to say, Katie McGarry, is really, really good as a writer. She's also very nice. I have tweeted to her about a couple of things. I've even asked for a side character in Dare You 2 if she's going to write a story about him, because I really liked him and he just felt like he had a story that needed to be told. And she responds. She's very nice. She's very supportive. She watched a couple of my other videos where I mentioned her and really liked them. I felt really special. Yeah, like, it's just, blah! Katie McGarry, if you like YA contempt, read them. If you don't, give it a shot, because she's a good one to go with. And seriously, I mean, the whole scene in the rain that actually happens, but, okay, I have to admit, I mean, I'm way too old for these people, but it's a little sexy. That's my review. Katie McGarry, YA contempt, angst, but good angst, real stories, real people, love, family issues, you know. It makes everything good. Okay, that's my book review, and yes, I will probably be a brunette from now on, so don't let that mess you up. I never say this. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, could you please like it? You know, with the little thumbs up. You know, do the thumbs up one, not the thumbs down one. Subscribe to my channel, or read my blog, my Tumblr, my Twitter. We have a lot of stuff. And if you are interested or want to make a comment, do so in the little comments part. That really is weird to do. It looks odd. So, Katie McGarry, pushing the limits, crossing the line. Dare You 2, 5 stars. Can't wait for Crash Into You. Go buy her stuff. I plan to probably buy her on paperback just because I'm that nerdy. So thank you very much. See you next time. Hope you're having a good summer. You're probably in sweltering heat like the rest of us. I have sunburn. Look at that. That never happens. I got sunburn in England. You never get that. Okay. Peace out.